Hello, my name is Eleanor. I'm a creative from Washington, D.C. Just documenting my journey here as an artist, a painter, can't really see it, a painter, a singer, songwriter. I'm also a seamstress. I wouldn't say I'm a designer yet because I have not genuinely made pieces, but it is definitely something that I would love to do at some point. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about my journey when it comes to discipline, specifically abstinence. So I know that this topic is super hot. People don't really want to go a long time cold turkey without any sexual encounters. You know, understandably so. I think we come from a culture where we are pretty much conditioned to even know about sex from a young age. And depending on how you grew up, your family, and your journey, sometimes sex is just inevitable. That's something that has happened to me in my life. I grew up knowing about sex because of my cousins and just experiences in high school sort of snowball affected my experience with sex, and I lost my virginity at 15, so that's such a young age for me, for a young woman. And I just remember that ever since then, the guy that I had lost my virginity to told me that once you have sex, you just want to have sex with everybody, and I really internalized that. And I'm not going to say I had sex with everyone, but I definitely did not say no when I didn't say no if I didn't have to, but if obviously I was never in a situation where I was saying no and I was being forced to. What I'm saying is I took every opportunity that I could because it kind of made me feel validated. It made me feel like I was worthy. I no longer feel that way about sex, and actually I want to use it to my advantage in the sense that I want to make sure that the person that I'm with and the person that I choose to do it with is someone that I know is going to stick around. So I've been practicing abstinence for the last 11 months now. It's going to be 12 months on March 1st, so almost 11 months. And just a backstory, I've had a hard time keeping promises to myself. And I remember before, I've said this before, I wanted to go 1 year without sex. I don't think I really had a reason back then. It was just this arbitrary idea. Let me just see if I can do it. At the 6-month mark, honestly, I totally gave in, and it was super easy to give in. You know, you just like, well, whatever. It's been so long. I'm like dying of thirst, basically, is what it felt like. And I did it. Well, I did it, and then I felt like, damn, I really couldn't have gone the other 6 months. Like, why didn't I do it? So I decided that I was gonna try again. I decided this last year. Oh God, I decided March 1st, 2025. Because I had an experience with someone that I really liked, but I gave in super easily because of alcohol. So I just decided that, one, I wanted to keep this promise to myself that I was gonna go 12 months without having sex. Two, I was gonna make this promise to God because I'm now, at that time, I was starting my journey with Jesus, and I wanted to feel closer to him again. So I told him, and I made a promise, and I wrote it down, that I was not going to participate in intercourse, and that I was going to read scripture, that I was going to pray every day, and that I was really going to follow God. So I've made it this far, and honestly, I don't think that once I hit the 12-month mark that it means I'm just gonna go out there and do it. I think it means that it's just gonna keep going on and on until I find the right person. So this is kind of a test for me to test the value of my word and the strength of my word, because I realize that my word is so powerful, but sometimes I'll say things and they just don't really make much of an impact on myself, which I think is contradictory. So this is a test for me to keep a promise to myself and to God. So also with this, I'll be more confident. I know for a fact that if I stick to my word and I know I can do it and I accomplish it, my confidence is just gonna go through the roof. I will literally not need anything from anybody. So right now what I'm focusing on is my art, my tailoring. I'm running a tailoring service in DC called Hemmed Tailoring. I think, and that's one thing that's taking a lot of my time apart from my 9 to 5. I'm doing this outside of work where I'm picking up tailoring, dropping it off. I'm tailoring when I'm at home, and I'm learning new ways to tailor. I'm on YouTube, and I'm just constantly trying to better myself and better my business. I'm working on my relationships with my friends. I feel like the friends that I have right now are really aligned with me. We're either thinking on the same kind of wavelength, like we are all creatives, we're all ambitious, and we're all just striving to be better people, and we are silly and funny, and we like to go and hang out, and we want to go do Pilates for Valentine's Day and not be lonely on Valentine's Day. So how am I staying strong through all of this? Because I recently met someone that I feel really safe with, that I can completely be myself with. And naturally, with this emotional connection, there is some temptation there, and I don't want to feed into it. So some ways that I stay strong are by keeping our distance, keeping that physical distance. I'm not seeing him after hours. I also imagine what I would feel if I did break the streak and I broke my promise. Would I be angry? Would I be frustrated? Would I be disappointed? Would I be sad? Would I be indifferent? Would I not care? I try to really fall deep into these feelings and just sort of preempt myself to what it would feel like if I did break the streak, because I mean, truthfully, I want to complete the year. I know for a fact that I will. There's no question about it. This time, I learned my lesson the first time. I know how I felt when I broke it, and I know that this time around, I mean, that's not happening. So I definitely tell the guy that I'm talking to or dealing with my concerns. And this is what I really like about him, is that I'm able to share every single thought that I have, no matter how concerning or scary or I guess maybe unhinged it might feel. I can tell him, and I'll just pay attention to his responses, as long as he's not bringing me down or making me feel dumb. Honestly, he's not doing any of those things. So I can share all these things with him and just get his reaction and his responses. And not only that, but he knows now exactly where I stand and what I'm thinking and what I want and what I need. So it's a really beautiful relationship. Sadly, it's just not happening. I also pray. I pray and I openly say the things that are stressing me out, that are tempting me, and that I'm afraid of saying out loud, because if I do tell God these things openly, I'll then be able to hear it and process it, and I can then stop myself. I'll just hit the brakes. I can relax. It's out of my body, basically. I leave it to you, God. I leave it to him, and that's what he wants us to do. He wants us to pray to him and give him all of our fears and all of our concerns and all of our worries, and just leave it up to him, because we should not even be worrying about anything. Lastly, I've been reminding myself that I am not that far off from my goal. I'm maybe 30 days away, and 30 days sounds like a lot, but the days are going by so quickly that honestly, if I just spend every waking morning here at home, go to work, I come back, hang out with my friends, get involved in activities, I'm tailoring, it really goes by super quickly. And I know that it will get more difficult, because this is a big milestone, and it's just natural that things will just start to challenge me more and more as I get closer to what I really want in my body and in my soul. Really, my body, we all know the body is super weak. So my body wants what my body wants, but I know that mentally and spiritually I want something else. So that is how I'm staying strong, And this is just a little bit of insight into me and my life and what I'm going through right now. And, you know, hopefully this message was received well. I hope you guys, you know, could learn something from this. If you did, drop a comment, let me know, and, you know, to like and subscribe for more content. We're coming back with more. Thank you guys. Bye.